the dawn on the hills of Ireland. God's angels lifting the night's black veil from the dear sweet face of my sireland. Oh, Ireland, isn't it grand you look, like a bride in her rich adorning, with all the pent-up love of my heart. I bid you the top of the morning. 'Tis one short hour pays lavishly back from many a year of mourning. I'd almost venture another flight. There's so much joy in returning, watching out for that hallowed shore, all other attractions scorning.
Right. You want me to say it now?
Yeah.
Christopher Conlon, I was born on the 9th of the 5th, 1932. I come from out the country in County Sligo, about 12 miles out, Culfather Land, County Sligo, Ireland.
My name is Donald Aidan Nolan. I come from Dublin. I was born in Rialto on the 17th of the 4th, 1936.
Kitty?
My name is Catherine Mary Nolan. I was born in Dublin in the Liberties, and my date of birth is the 5th of the 10th, 1942.
Julie Hubbard. I was born in Kettering in England, 19th of the 1st, 41,
Okay.
19th of January.
And your parents were born in Ireland, were they?
My parents were born in Ireland. My dad was born in Roscommon. My mum was born near Durham.
Durham, where's that?
Durham, it's in the Midlands of Ireland, near Portlaoise.
Anne Sweeney, 23rd of the 9th, 1943.
Lovely.
And 19 May,
Mick Sweeney.
19 Mick Sweeney, 19 what? Mixed up again.
No.
That's all right.
47.
Mick Sweeney, born 19 May 1937.
My name is John Miles. Date of birth 10th to the 5th, 1935.
Born the 11th to the 12th, 1936, in a place called Hospital Crew.
Yeah, my name is Mary Collins. I was born in Tullamore in 1937, and that's where I lived with my mother and father and 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
I came over to get some work, and I worked in a shoe factory in the centre of Leicester.
And then the brother, as I said, wrote to me and come over and get a job in the mines, and I did. I was just gone 17, 63 years this month now. And I went out, I got here on a Thursday, went out on a Friday, got the job, no bother, and started the following Monday morning. Because there was a lot of our countrymen working in the mines then. There was a mixture, but it was tough going, the wages was poor, and the digs was poor, till I went underground at 18. So the money was a good bit better then, and a bit of overtime. Okay. Then went on coal face at 19, piecework, and then more money, you know. So then was naturally a bit more happier.
And so, Anne, where do you come from in Ireland?
I come from County Fermanagh.
And what made you come over to Leicester?
Well, I couldn't get any work, and we had already met, and we planned to get married.
Okay.
And we just couldn't afford it in Ireland, and we just decided we'd come over here. I had a sister over here.
Okay.
She was in Leicester, and we came over here.
And how long had your sister been here?
Oh,
No, not too long.
not too long, about 2 years I think she was over. She came over with a cousin.
Oh, okay. And why did she come to Leicester?
Well, I couldn't answer that question, but I think that she couldn't get any work either.
Yeah.
Nearly everybody that I went to school with in my class, they all had immigrated to different parts of the world. Some had gone to Canada, some had gone to America, quite a few in England, and I was about the second last one that left, really, to be quite honest. But we had a bit of trouble at home, so really and truly, I suppose at the end of the day I got no choice, because I had my mother come with me. So the two of us come over together, 1958. So he was in digs in Wixton, and he got me digs there with a lovely old lady called Mrs. Glenister. And
combination of, I didn't really have to leave home, because my elder brothers had left home, and I was in line to take over the. Okay. I wanted to wander, so I didn't have to leave, but I left, and I came here.
And why Leicester, of all the places you could go to?
Well, a number of people here that I knew from near home, not exactly home, but the next brother to me. Paul Flaherty, Christy Gamble, and Johnny Maroney, and so more. I knew them from home, so I came over. And
well, when I first come to England, I was very shy, like, so I might as well admit it. And then I got to know people, and
No, we didn't go home. But we always sent a few bob home. Yeah. Keep them going. Yeah, because it was only my mother, and my father was working he was working in Durham, in ICI.
Oh, so he was at
Yeah. And the others were all at school. And then my sister came over in 58, I think. She came over to Charing Cross Hospital. She's a nurse.
Right.
And my brothers came over, and one of them went into the army, into the Air Force. Timmy, that's the eldest one. And Bridgie is my sister. She was a nurse in Charing Cross Hospital.
Okay.
And that's where she met her husband.
And did you see much of your sister when you were in London?
Yeah, we met up quite a lot. Yeah. We used to meet up. And then my other brother came over to Durham, and he went on the buses.
Right.
So, and my other brother, Bobby, Georgie was the other one who went on the buses, and Bobby, he died 3 years ago. He used to work in a factory at home. He was married at home with children.
And I'm at Mallow Bromley's on St. Saviour's Road.
Okay.
I worked there for 25 years. Then it closed down. I moved around doing jobs here and in different factories.
Okay, thank you. And Anne, where did you work when you first came over?
Got a job in the factory. My sister was in the factory. She came over before me. And I got a job there. I think it was
John Bull.
John Bull.
Okay.
That's the name of the factory.
George used to do you. He had
No, that wasn't there.
Oh, sorry.
That was in Highfield Street. No, I left Highfield Street when I met Kathleen's brother, and he lived down in Melbourne Street, and he had a top flat, and he was able to do his own cooking, and I lived there with him, and the two of us bunched in, and then half and half, and I was with him for about 4 years.
Right.
And they rented my dad and mum this house in Dronfield Street, 74 Dronfield Street, which was really good. But then later on, the lady wanted to sell the houses, so she sold the house to them for £350. Today's money, it's like somebody's wage packet. But in them days, it was a bit of a struggle. They didn't know whether they'd even manage it, which was in the 50s even.
Yeah.
But my mum, as I say, went to work, my dad worked, so But they did. My mum come home every dinner time, and between us at night we'd get the dinner ready. I'd come home from Sacred Heart School and put the dinner on, so that when she came in at 12:30, the dinner was cooked.
Right.
And she'd dish it up.
Fantastic.
And then we'd wash up between us, back to school, back to work. I mean, it's unreal, really. But what you can do when you're organised.
Yeah, that's it. You're pulled together.
Yeah.
On the afternoon shift, and I used to be come in a bit late, maybe at the weekend, but make no noise. Take my shoes off there and I came in, go up the stairs. And she told me off the next Monday morning, and she picked a good morning and a teeming rain. Teeming rain to get out and find somewhere else. She waking me up coming in late. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I took my shoes off and everything, you know. Anyway, I didn't have to go. I got fixed up in Lower Hastings Street.
Okay.
But I lost the shift over it.
Yeah.
And I always went to work.
Yeah.
Always went to work. Yeah. But she had some disagreements with not one or two lads more, you know. But that was life, you know. But
well, it was lovely and clean. It was lovely to go into the town. I always lived up in Wixton, you know, and it's lovely to go into the town. It was lovely and clean. The shops are great. Not like it's today, really, to be honest. You know, beautiful. And that's why I stopped in Leicester. I'd chances to, you know, to move to Manchester and that, you know. I was offered work up there, but I wouldn't do it, you know. I said, no, I'm happy where I am, and that's it. Because my mother was in Market Harbour as well, and I was able to get to see her at the weekends because she was living with my sister.
And when you first came, because you came first on, what did you think of Leicester when you first arrived?
Oh, it was dead. There was hardly any movement at all in there. It was an awful place. I just worked for about 6 or 7 months, and I went back home, and I got some food back into me. You need and you come back again. And done that a couple of times, but Leicester was very dead, very quiet. You wouldn't have got a sinner at 10 o'clock of a Sunday night. There'd be nobody in the streets.
Really?
Yeah, everyone kind of went to bed. And it was only a couple of months back that we came through the town. I couldn't believe the amount of people that were in the town. There was so many. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And they were very strict on the pubs being closed at 10 o'clock and the shops being closed, and they wouldn't serve any alcohol and stuff. Very strict. I remember going over to the shop, asking that man for can I get a bottle of milk or something for the kids, and he wouldn't serve it. He said, I can't. He said, it's gone 10 o'clock. He wouldn't budge.
Yeah, I found that as well.
From the first day I come in, because I went to the sister in Market Harbour, me and my mother, and when I was coming in to Leicester to meet my pal Joe Buttons, I loved the place when I come to Leicester. I mean, it was lovely then, we'll admit. I loved the place, and I said, oh, I'm not leaving here. And I did meet a lot of Irish lads when we used to go down to town at night. And every time the following week you go down, you say, oh, where's so-and-so? Oh, he's moved. And then they all started moving out of Leicester to London, Birmingham and Manchester.
The agent or something, I think. They're down there before
On the corner by the roundabout?
Yeah, on the left side. Oh, he's coming home from the pit. When I worked at South Leicester near Lansdowne Village, and some of my mates got and nearly all gone friends. Yes, Chris, the hard working miner. I used to put an old suit on because he used to have showers in them, and they'd have a few bottles of beer lined up for me. It was nice. It was good.
Yeah.
It was great. Oh God, sometimes you think about it, you know.
It's a good time.
Oh
yeah.
God.
And then St. Pat's.
Oh aye, yeah. I done some down there. Well, probably not. But when I won't say much when the home broke up, you know, and then I go down there dancing, and they used to have nice bands there, a nice crowd, good crowd, and then the young ones coming in there, than all growing up now in families.
Did you meet?
I didn't go out a lot, Linda, then. It wasn't till I didn't go out till I think I was nearly 40 a lot, you know, because I had the children. And then we used to go down to Pat's Club and to Green Lane Club, you know, so bring the children as well. But then if there was a dance on, we'd go down there. So that was our socialising.
Green Lane was about the best.
Was it?
Oh yeah,
Green
Green
Lane.
Lane, there was always a show on.
All the dubs were in there, most of a lot of Irish and Scotch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was very good. And that was a Saturday night, and Sunday it was good crack there.
Yeah, and the Sacred Heart was good as well. It was getting good.
And then they opened up the Charney then, and the Charney became a great pub for the Irish and Scotch then.
A great house, great family. You'd think we're at home in Ireland. And then a few doors away there's another Irish family, Hennigans. But he's in a home now, he's a big age. And then across the road those O'Briens and those Feeneys. Further up those O'Connors. Oh God almighty, there's an awful lot of them, you know. There's a great community. We go down there now, same as anywhere else, I guess, I don't know. But there's only about four or else five of us through Irish going down to Mass. With a few Irish origin, but they're Asians from the Caribbean and Poles. It didn't matter. You know what I mean? Look, some of them in the choir, those from the Caribbean, and they're great singers. Great singers. I said to this Tommy Ryan, a Cork fella, to sit beside him, and God, I said, she's a great singer. You wouldn't need a mic with her in the pub. You know.
No. Well, I think myself, a lot of it is their own fault. Because if you're right with people, people will be right with you. That's what I always found. I never had any problem. And I often meet a black man, I was on a bicycle there, and I stand up and have the crack and hear him here laughing. The black people are more like us than the Asians. But the Asians are all right. I get on well with the Asians as well. And I have an allotment down the road there. And I got everyone. I talk to everybody. That's the way it is. And there's this fella. He's a Protestant. He was from Tipperary. But he married some lady from Tipperary and he bought places and different things and he sold them over and he ended up in Kilkelly anyway. In fact, he said he bought Johnny Marley's place. You possibly know Johnny well. Yeah. So that's what he was telling me. So he said, how come everybody talks to you and nobody talks to me? Well, I said, it's like this. When I go in, if they don't speak to me, I speak to them first, and then we stand up and have the chat. But I said, what do? When you come in, nobody speaks to you, you don't speak to anybody. That's right, he said. Well, I said, that's why nobody speaks to you.
And he come up to the counter and he looked, I didn't know that these bombs had gone off in Birmingham. I didn't, and he come up to the counter and he says, there you are, Bill or Brown, whatever it is now. He says, ready for you, as usual. And he says, I don't ever again want to see you for what you've done. And I looked at him and I says, I've done nothing. What are you on about? Well, he says, you like them all. He says, you just pretend. And the steward, like Johnny Fawkes at that time, he said, he come round and says, Bill Robber was the bloke's name. He says, Bill Roberts just ignored me completely. I said, told him when I went off, he says, haven't you heard then? I said, no, what? He said, well, there's a bomb went off in Birmingham last night. He said, and there's a lot of people being killed. He said, by the RA. I said, oh my God, because I didn't believe in that at all. I couldn't. I never condoned that, even when I was in Ireland. And he says, that's what probably, you know. He says, go home. He says, forget it. So I went home and
there was, I said, there was a lot of ours, and then there was a few Poles and a few Germans, Scotch, Irish, and you got the Geordies, a few Welsh, some from the south of England, even a few Cockneys. Yeah. How you going on, George? How you going on, brother? That's the truth.
Yeah.
But all good people, the majority. You get the odd ones that did not like us Irish.
Yeah. Or Wixton, yeah. Yeah, oh yes, we had some very good friends. There was a lot of Irish, so we mixed with a lot of them, you know. And yeah, the people was nice. No, we've never met up against prejudice, and then there wasn't many around then, even on Myrtle Road. You know, you'd meet the one nice lady and she'd have little children. And yes, but no, I didn't. No, thank God, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I never have actually met
That's
up
good.
against anyone. Prejudice, no, no.
No, we mostly kept to ourselves. We didn't.
Yeah, but we were friendly, weren't
yeah,
we?
yeah.
You know, we would.
Do you feel you kept in the Irish community?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
A few. I had two or three scraps, I won't tell a lie. I'm not a troublemaker. One big lanky fellow was after coming out of the army because I got my papers for the army here. I was 6 months here, and some of the old Irish got, don't go on the British Army, my lad, you know. So, anyway, and this fellow calling me an Irish bee, damned out, and I didn't know. I thought to myself, no, this is too much. I didn't bless myself. I got stuck into him, put him down, tattooed him, and some of the local lad says it was good enough for him, because he didn't leave me alone.
Yeah.
I would never call anybody that name. I'm not that holy or religious, but I believe in right and wrong, you know. And then there was a couple more fellas are going on Apestock, and they were push bike going around a pit black them days, and was going through a near cut through this wood, like and all the coal slack around here, and the drain. I was going laugh, pushed me into this drain. It wasn't deep, but I got wet. I was dirty anyway. Yeah. So I says, you won't be laughing tomorrow morning. We started at 7 o'clock. I was waiting at the back of the blacksmith shop with my bike, and I waited for him coming. And you might think me mad, I was only 17. I got stuck into him and pasted him. I bloody did, and another fella, you know.
For a long time after that, people had asked me where I come from. I wasn't frightened, but I wouldn't say where I come from. But we were the best of friends again after that.
Life goes on. And life goes on.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah.
We knew we were Irish, but we didn't think, oh, we're any better or any worse, or we just blended in. Yeah.
And in Highfields at the time, were there any other nationalities living there?
Well, the first coloured chap I seen was a chap coming round the door, an Indian. No, wait a minute, that was the first Indian I seen. He came round the door selling velvet mats, what you could put on the wall.
All right.
And I found out years later, he's only just died. I found out later that he was one of the first chaps to come into Leicester and the Indian community. I seen a Scotsman when I was a child, and I laughed my head off because he got killed on. I can remember sitting on the floor laughing because I never imagined a man to wear a skirt. I can't remember the West Indians. I think they were starting to come in then. But my mum worked in John Bull, as I said, and she used to know everybody, so it didn't matter whether they were black, white or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, she'd just speak to them.
I went into the council and I got the mortgage, and then they wanted to know why a single man wanted a 5-bedroom house. And being honest as I was, I said I intended to let it. Well, then do it through the mortgage. I had signed the contract, and then I had to pay extra money to the crowd I bought the house off.
I went to with a woman in Bowman Lee's Lane. I lived with her for about 20 years. And she locked me out. Yeah, maybe I don't blame it. But it wasn't the first time she locked me out, and I said, "You lock me out once too often." She says, "If you don't come home," she says, "I lock you out." She locked me out of Friday night. And, I didn't like a lot of the Irish blokes that kicked down the door or the no. And that's it. I went to Highfield Street, but she was begging me to come back. You know? And I said, "I warned you." I said, "You kick me out once too often." And I said, "You kick me out done once too often," and I said, "I'm not going back." And I never went back to the present day.
Oh, I said, "You were supposed to be going at 1 o'clock." I said, "Yes, and you were supposed to call me." So he said, "No," he said, "you'll have to make another appointment." I said, "I won't make another appointment." So he took his head out like that, and there was a big railing up, and an inch bare, about square bare up, on top of the counter. And I put in my hand underneath, grabbed him from the top and pulled him halfway over the railing. And I said, and there was this other older fella, a ginger-haired fella. This was a tall young fella, he must be well over 6 feet. And he said, "Let him go." I said, "Let him go?" I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I told him I'm here since 12:30. And I said, I told him about my appointment, and he said, "Sit down there and I'll call you when it's ready." But he never called me. So he said, "Put him down and I'll make sure you get the appointment." All right, I put him down, I said, and I grabbed him in from the bottom, and I gave him a shot like that and fired him back in the wall. He fell down like a sack of potatoes. And then the fella said, "Go on, get in there," he said, "and tell him." So, anyway, when he was gone, he said, "Leave it there." I said, "I will not," because I didn't know what he was going to do to me. He said, "Leave it there, I want to congratulate you." What was that? I said, "Well, I wanted to do that for a long time, but I couldn't, or I'd get the sack, but they can't sack you." So I said, "Thank you very much for that."
That's what it was. Young man in his prime.
Yeah, in Ealing Broadway, yes, yes. In 1958, I think.
And how long had he been over?
He hadn't been long over himself. He was only over a year or two, maybe. I didn't see him. Well, he used to sit at the bottom of, Ealing Broadway it was a hall, and there was no beer at the time. It was lemonade and tea. Okay. But all around was mirrors, you see. And then he'd give you a dance, and he'd be talking to his friends behind me, you see if he was going to get off with me. And I said, "If you don't stop, I'm walking off this floor." Yeah. Which I did once or twice.
Good.
But he'd be there, and then he had 2 women as well. The women liked him because he was a good-looking fella, and he was sitting, and he used to wink over at me too, because it was a ladies' choice then. And you could go over and ask him to dance, you see, and he used to be winking at me to go over and ask him, and of course I would. Take me out of here. Yeah, that's how we met, and we married in 1960. And we married in Brook Green in Hammersmith. And I lived in London for, how long? About Well, I had my eldest son, Paulio, and he was one or two, and then I was pregnant with Timmy, and Paulio got sick. He went to Hammersmith Hospital and they took a piece of his liver out. You know, he had jaundice, terrible jaundice. So my father came down from Durham and I was pregnant with Timmy. And he sent me home to my mother. And I went home with this big pram loaded with stuff. One child in one arm and pregnant with another. You know, the boat.
Paddy McCormick, we used to meet sometimes after my 11 o'clock mass in Wixton, South Wixton. And I seen him walking on the footpath, and it was him and his missus, because his wife had come over to him. Well, they weren't married at the time, but she'd come over to him. And there was another girl with him. So he spotted me and he come back and he says, "I've been trying to find you all week." I says, "Why, what's the matter?" He says, "There's somebody here from, you know, Dublin." He says, "Want to, you know, would you take her to the pictures tonight?" I says, "What are you on about, you know?" He says, "She's been over here for a week. She used to work with his missus in Dublin at Lemon Sweets." So I said, "All right then." So that's how it started. So she went back after holidays, never heard no more for about 9 months. And she used to write me in no time, and all of a sudden I got a letter saying, "Oh, can you find me a job?"
In 1963, I got married in Dublin because Don was a friend of my brother's, and he'd come over and he met him. Don worked in Leicester before that, and Don come over to Dublin and he met me, and then within a year we got married, and I got married in Dublin, and then I come back to Leicester as a bride. I've got to get that right.
Yeah.
I didn't live in it before.
Yeah.
And that's it, I've been here since.
Ever since. Yeah. And tell me how you met.
Oh, go on you.
I met in Sloans at the Irish when I had the Keely.
The Cayley?
Yeah, there was a Keely dancer. I loved Keely music, and I loved Keely doing Keely dancing and things.
Okay.
So we used to go everywhere on Monaghan and Fermanagh and Armagh and these places at the Keelys, me and a few boys. And I met Anne at the Keely one night.
Yeah, a place called Clonus.
Clonus, yeah.
Michael was born in the General on the 19th of September 1969, and John was born in the Royal on the 18th of May 1972. Michael was born at 3:15.
You still remember that?
Oh yeah.
So did you go home then? You took the kids home?
Well, yes. My brother got killed, and my uncle died as well, and my father. And being I was supposed to go home anyway, so we sold up and went home.
And you went to that house, the one on the picture?
Oh no, I didn't. Went to another house.
And how long did you stay at home?
Nearly 14 years.
Oh, okay.
Went home in 73, and I came back in January 86. I'm afraid I'll have to have a nature call. And I went to Avon Street. There's another Polish house.
Okay.
And her son nearly got killed in a car crash. So she wanted the room, so I had to move out. I went to Beckingham Road, another Polish woman. And she wanted me to marry our daughter. But I didn't. I escaped there. I say I like my freedom.
And that's how it all started. So she come over and she was living in Wixon as well, so eventually we got married. But unfortunately I lost her when she was 42 in a massive heart attack, and that was it, you know. And after, when I lost the wife, and 12 months after I lost my mother as well. So she went as well, I think, because they were very close actually. It was amazing how close they were. And I lost her as well, so. I went through a very bad patch for about 5 years. But for the sake of the kids, you gotta carry on, haven't you?
I was with him for about 4 years.
Right.
And we went on regular to Dublin, and that's when I seen Kathleen. Her lovely big red head of hair, and we fell in love with her straight away. And she was absolutely magic.
Yeah.
And,
you don't mean that.
And he also is a fantastic accordionist. So let's give him a big round of applause. Eamon Morton.